Hello. Morning, afternoon, and evening, everyone. I do the scans in the morning, Hong Kong time, right after the market close, right after the after hours, and by then I thought the market is going to be a shakeout, and then I was uh leaning towards the upside. Like ONDS, I think on the hourly chart looks pretty nice. If we can get an open near 1040-ish area, and then we have breakout of the previous candle high, then I think it looks pretty nice. Also Planet Labs too. Uh, but it's still above the EMA, so it's still it's the best looking one. Red Cat also, like if you're ignoring the gap downs, I think yesterday close is quite bullish. And I really like um the rally at the 50 EMA. But the market just give another surprise today, and then it's keeping down, and then suddenly some stocks that are looking great isn't looking that great anymore. Especially Nvidia yesterday already closes pretty weak. And a weekly candle looks like a wick off, like trying to push higher from the previous highs around 190, and then failed. And SNDK was closing really strong yesterday. So probably the strongest stocks right now, and still building high lows, still above the 9 EMA. So actually, I'm right. Like yesterday is not the day that it is going to pick in direction. But for this Seagate and Western Digital, I think they are the weaker one. But mainly because of the semiconductor weakness yesterday. I forgot to save the change. For this potent scan, I try to add one more condition: is the prices should be above the 50 EMA, and then removes all the stocks that is gapping up under the 50 EMA. AOI gapping up after the earnings is still in a very clear uptrend. Really strong. So I think it is still in this market. I'm not trusting any move. I'll be prepared. I'm preparing for both sides. And try to ignore the indices for a bit. Dow is gapping up above the anchor fill up from the prior swing high. That is quite good. Like if the market is more bullish or is easier to trade, then I think this EP is really nice. Let's check the gapping up into the anchor VWAP for 20% move from the bottom. I think that is. I mean, shorting the gap ups into the declining EMAs or the anchor VWAP is working quite well recently. I think I'm going to like maybe give it a try. Actually, it's Mara too, gapping up into the 50 EMA. Weekly 9 EMA and also the previous swing lows. So given that the indices have been gapping below the yesterday low, so my plan is to try to wait for the bounce into the declining EMAs. Hopefully can bounce back to like yesterday's close around 609, 608 if possible. I don't know. I'm just going to take like if it's bounced back into the 5 minute or 15-minute 9 EMA, I may also try some shorts. Especially on maybe MU or the Seagate and Western Digital. Maybe even AMD. AMD is a little bit stretched to the downside. But it's the weaker, one of the weakest name in the semi sector. SMCI could be another one. Bounce back to around 32-ish, the 9 EMA on the hourly charts. Oh, this arm also looks pretty good on the weekly chart on the short side. On the weekly chart is on the 50 EMAs and also the previous swing low level. And this is the first bounce into the 50 EMA after the huge sell-off. If it is this first lower low, oh sorry, lower high here, then it should get some resistance here around these levels. Core width is coming down 12%. Is this could this be a negative EP or like a inverse EP? Back is rejecting or at the 50 EMA. It failed to close above it. I thought it could yesterday. Crypto is setting up lower. MSTR is looking pretty good on the short side. Circle is at the 21 EMA on the weekly chart. And it's gapping below the hourly 9 EMA. I think for if you are playing a reversal short, the first bounce into the declining 9 EMA is a possible entry. Such as here, if you are playing the reversals, once it open below the 9 EMA and then a bounce into the 9 EMA, and this is a rally down. But you really need to time it very correctly. But if you decide to play the reversal more aggressively like this, then you have to be quick and take these aggressive entries. Cannot wait for the second day after it closes above below the EMAs. Sometimes it won't give you another opportunity. But this one is a really good. I think I traded the. I didn't trade it that well in the January. I missed a lot of the gap up into the resistance area, and then the shorts like Palantir. Yeah, I traded it, but I got shaken out. Also the lemonade, I believe. Lemonade at the 50 EMA. I also missed this one. I think the gap up into the declining EMAs is working pretty well recently. Well, today have a lot of stocks and watch. I really wish the market doesn't go straight down after the open. We wanted to get some bounce into the declining EMAs. Not declining, but into the EMAs, and then gets rejected. Maybe the declining in the shorter time frame. Always coming down 3% after earnings. Not moving much. Intel's rejected at the end of VWAP after the earnings gap down. No, I'm not looking for shorting ONDS. Looks, yeah, definitely it doesn't look that good. Kept it's open below the EMAs, but yeah, actually it could be a short out. Yeah, it could be. I think today there are a lot of short opportunities I think I'm going to stick with the weaker one and the one gapping up into the declining EMAs or the resistance. I do think ONDS is going to, but it's still above the 21 EMA. So maybe if it really tries to go lower, I believe there will be another opportunity for the pullback for after it found support on the 21, and we have a bounce into the declining 9 or 21 or 50. Because yesterday I think is one of one of the stronger one, showing relative weakness. Sorry, relative strength. And the IWM is outperforming. So small caps is just stronger. But today IWM is the weaker one. I don't know. We'll see. Man, a lot of the names. I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed. SNTK, I think, right now is not really good short candidate at the moment because it's still above the 9 EMA and is building high lows along the in the past several weeks. It failed to go lower. There's several attempts, but it all failed and then comes back up. And yesterday is a pretty strong reversal on the anchor free web and on the 9 EMA. But one thing that I'm a little bit concerned about is the semi sector and all the names that have been going up for several 100%, and SNDK is going up around 2000%, 2500. But I think I'm open for both long and the short side here. It's going to pick one direction and then in both directions will be explosive, I think. I was more bearish back then, back in early February after the huge volume reversal. And staying under the anchor VWAP from the swing high. But eventually it keeps building high lows and serving the 9-day pretty well. But I was more concerned about the CK and Western Digital. They're weaker and then kind of build a platform. Base above the 21 EMA. Flat base. But I think I will prioritize the one that is weaker. Circle, but there's earning on Wednesday. You just can't. It's too risky to enter a position when it's too close or to earnings report. But if without the earnings, I think this bounce is pretty weak, and it is pretty good for shorting. Either you short it um on the 21 EMA or the bounce into the 21 EMA. But one thing is circle is a little bit stronger than the other names like MSTR and coin. They're still at the 9 EMA, but circle is at 2021. But still, I think this is a good spot to enter a trade. Probably at the anchor VWAP too. Yeah, on the anchor VWAP. Found resistance twice. Netflix is going higher, rallying into 21 EMA on the weekly chart. And IWM yesterday stops me out. That is a little bit unfortunate. If there's a bounce out back to the anchor VWAP, I will. Yeah, the anchor VWAP from yesterday's key level. One of the key levels that I'm watching. Yeah, the Korea ETF is. I think yesterday maybe could be a kind of could be a parabolic short. Huge volume yesterday. So not a good sign for the semi sector. If the South Korea ETF is getting extended and have a high volume, kind of a explosive top, climax top. Not, it's not that extended, but still not a bullish sign at least. So try some macro strategy shots. Start getting stopped out right away. Okay. Now the market is bouncing back a bit. I think it's going straight down after the open. Not giving me the opportunity. And TK is still bouncing at the ankle fill-up level. Refuse to go down. I'm gonna cover some QBTS in case the market going to reverse from here. Today IWM is weak. Right now it is the weakest one compared to the Qs and the SPY, and it cannot recover. We claim the 9 and 21 EMA. Oh, I really want Mara to bounce back into the ankle VWAP. Huge reversion. SNDK. Oh, Mara, this is a possible shot. I think I missed this one. So Q is bouncing, SPY is in the middle, and IWM is down. Feeling a little bit different from what I've experienced in the past month. around the VWAP. Let's see which way I want to go. No, somehow I can't short tomorrow. That's that's fine. Okay, I'm gonna try whole week on the 5-minute candle. Stop is so tight. I'm risking really small. Even I got stopped out or each trade I'm re I think I'm risking 0.2 or less than 0.3% for each trade. That is really nice. I am not feeling that. I won't have a huge drawdown even though if a market bounce back and then I got stopped out from most of my positions. Netflix is going up, holding the anchor VWAP. It's a little bit weird. As IWM is being the weakest one. Yeah, I've entered a lot of positions today. I think I'm going to stop here, even though I wanted to short Western Digital too. Maybe MU. Mara. Second attempt on the Enter VWAP. But I think it's the margin requirement or something that I cannot short this one. Light is still holding up above the 9 EMA. Wolf is slicing down after the open. Tries to push higher but failed. Warning is still above the 9 EMA. Is holding up quite well for now. BE is still running up above the 9 EMA. I just covered some QBTS on the dip on this candle. I don't know. I'm not trusting any move of this market. MCI surprisingly is holding up very well among the semi peers. Red Cat is dipping. Rejected at the 9 EMA. I think really the better shot is when he loses the 9 EMA on the weekly, or the 50 EMA on the daily first, and then wait for the EMAs to cross below it, and then finally pullback short would be more optimal, would be more ideal. Still, if you're shorting today, I think it's still a good entry, given that the IWM is the weakest one. But I just don't like it as it's still above the 50 EMA and the weekly chart is still above the 9. Going to get stopped out on STX anytime, I think. SNTK is flagging below the 5-minute EMA, 15-minute EMA. Near the EMAs to start clustering together. Looks like normally things went the opposite as to my expectation. I think this one is probably going higher on SNDK. Let's see. Hourly chart still looks pretty good. It's still above all the EMAs. And Q is bouncing. So it should go higher. Isn't it? Yeah, EM pick is, wow, this is a ugly weekly candle right here. Yeah, so that's why the market is really tough. If you're buying the breakouts from this tiny range, from this range here, and then you'll have a 1 to 2 day follow through, and then it grabs right away. Mara is going lower, taking out the opening range lows. SNTK still hanging right here. I'm going to risk on 1% on this trade, no matter which side it went, it goes. Because it's bouncing pretty strong, but at the 9 EMA. 9 EMA on the 5-minute chart. Got stopped out on STX. Okay, I decided not to overtrade. I think this is nonsense. If SNTK is going higher, I really wanted to stay to build an inside day for today. Yeah, it's going to look really nice. Nvidia is bouncing with the Qs. So let's see, can we find some rejection, or we have a really strong undercut and rally to the upside, and another bear trap. It's feeling like the market is starting a new trend every day. Looks like SNTK is pushing higher from that 5-minute breakout or your 1-minute breakout. AAOI is not going away. I'm finding the GIF for the SNDK. So right now we're back. And when it hopefully you can, let's see how long this GIF can hold. I always also prepared for this is over. So right now we're back, and then this one is going. Let's put it right here. I'm getting ready with this reversal, if there's any. The kills is still bouncing back into the. It's not yet filling the gap. It's still under the 608 area. Mara is, I think it's getting rejected from the Incofi web. And now try to push higher. And arm just stops me out. Maybe I'm too early for the semi-short. This is the second try for Netflix. And the weekly is still in play. I think it can let's give him a second chance. And if Qs is getting rejected at the declining EMAs here, I think the Netflix will follow. Hopefully. Ashley is doing pretty well. Find support on the 9, and then I think also on the anchor VWAP level. Not yet, but found support on the 9 already. Mega caps is bouncing into the declining EMAs. This is not looking promising. The bounce doesn't look that convincing for now. The strongest one definitely only the same is like TSM and AMAT. Still above the 9 EMA. The bank's starting to crap. This Duolingo, this green bird down 83% in 8 months. I was watching all the way down but didn't trade it at all. I think the best shot is right here when it consolidate under all the EMAs and the EMAs are close to each other. Other than that, though, the bounce into the EMAs are not that clean. Block is also bounced back a huge gap up into the 50 EMA and 150 on the daily charts. 50 EMA on the weekly. Would be a better shot if it just bounced back into the 50 EMA on the daily chart. And also the 9 EMA on the weekly, then it will be a better shot because it's also near the previous swing lows area, 60-ish area. But it bounced above it, so that's why I skip it. Dell is having some follow through. maybe the semis is not that yet. Where's my GIF? Yeah, the GIF suddenly disappears. Don't know why. Gonna lock it. Hey, oh yeah, it's right here. Can we get a rejection? Or it just keeps going? But the weekly of the queues are not looking at if it closes above the 21, then I think it's fine. But if it closes below the 21 for this weekly candle close, then it's gonna be ugly. I think the main character right now would definitely be SNDK. If this thing goes higher or goes lower, it's probably going to influence the market vibes a lot. And AOI is very strong. Still pushing higher and up almost 50%. AMD is the weakest one. I'm thinking to, but it's like daily is a little bit too extended. I don't know. But if Sam is going to find rejection here, the AMD is going to follow, I think. AMDD is the short ETF, but it's a little bit illiquid and then low priced. I think this is the semi sympathy play. I don't know. Also the Qs, if it's going to get rejected from here. Yeah, just gonna try with a smaller sizing then. Smaller risk. Only 1% stop. Okay. ONDS and Planet Lab, and Red Cat is pretty weak. Wow. This run is down 30%. After earnings, after market open. And the airlines is losing the EMAs. GME is pretty strong. Still mixed actions. I think we're still in a choppy environment. Probably a long way to go. On keyboard, I'm using Ducky 1X. Yeah, gold and silver has been pretty strong. Looks like it's setting up higher. I just don't like how standard they are and the previous sell-off. And there are other opportunities in the market right now, so I don't have to be don't have to be focused on the metal stocks. Still holding up the EMAs. SNDK still on the way up. Let me better prepare the other one. This one is going to be... We're gonna hide it and hide it below. Okay. QPTS is having a good follow through to the downside. RNQ hopefully can have a weak close. To confirm the rejection on the 9 EMA weekly. So the market is still trying to push higher. Even though they're heading against the EMAs. Refuses to come down. There are 2 attempts trying to lose the 9 of all failed at the moment. I guess that DK is going to set up for higher. It's still riding the 9 EMA above the anchor VWAP. No RNQ is today on the 5-minute candle breakdown. Yeah, if Fast is going to close strong today, next week will be a good opportunity to try the long side. Netflix is trying to push higher. The markets, okay, the industry starting to have some rejection. Almost got stopped out from circle. Really close. Yeah, I think also this is the last trade I'm trying to take today. Shorted arm. Let's see. So I'm calling it a day here, and thank you all for joining, and see you in the next one. And hopefully the market can be easier. And we'll see how the SNTK is going to do. And we're back.